Before you put a ring on your game engine, I need you to answer something. Do you still know exactly why and how you decided on it in the first place? Or did you just watch all of 3 tutorials, find out your favorite game was made in this engine, and immediately decide you are now a Unity developer? I'm willing to bet a lot of you have done this exact thing. You don't really choose an engine, you accidentally sign a blood pact and marry one. Even window shopping starts to feel a lot less like trying something on new and a lot more like infidelity to a bachelor developer. But before you spend the next 3 years defending your first choice with your life, I want to talk about why so many developers get stuck in the wrong engine. Everyone thinks their first engine is forever. It's the first time you ever felt that spark, that creative yet naive, wow, I can really do anything sense of importance was finally added to your ideas. But it almost feels like you're not really allowed to shop around, doesn't it? Like you should at least stay serious about an engine for a few years and build yourself an ecosystem within it to make those future games with. It's a common trap that new devs keep falling into, and it gets us absolutely nowhere. A new dev downloads their first video game engine, they watch some tutorials, they find out their favorite game was even made in this engine, and that's it. They are filled with determination. Then they rush into things and get attached. Then, before you even realize it, you started identifying as a Unity dev or an Unreal dev. You and your engine are an item now. Besides, it was there for you before any of these new shiny engines you could feel your eyes wandering to, and suddenly switching starts to sound a lot like giving up and feels like betrayal. But what happens when your dream game and your engine stop getting along? So you're already knee deep in it now, and I'm telling you to blow up everything and turn your game on its head, all because of some supposed incompatibility? I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know that engine like you do. It's what's best for you. Surely you can work something out or maybe try marriage counseling. You've already spent hundreds of hours learning it. All the tutorials you've watched were for that engine, and the systems you built live inside it. Maybe you feel like after a year or two, you're just now getting used to this interface and dipping your toes into the deep end. So why jump ship? Plus, on paper, it is still the best engine for your dream game. So maybe you should stick around with it for when that inevitable day comes, right? But without specific training, a single game engine isn't really gonna push you toward that dream any faster than the next. You're just hopeful that it will because you need a justification for your pain. So instead of switching or simply just sampling around, people spend years miserably fighting the same engine they picked when they were 19. I'm even guilty of this. I started with Unity, got overwhelmed, and quit for 7 months. Then I tried RimPy, learned a little code, decided it wasn't real enough, and immediately ran back to Unity before eventually landing in Godot, one of the engines I wasn't really into at first. Now that I'm back on the Godot train for a second time here, with my first ever prototype, I'm realizing that I've changed so much in the past couple of years. Not due to one engine being horrible or even untreated ADHD, but because my goals kept changing. And now my outlook on the issue has too. You see, the funny thing about game development is that most successful developers aren't loyal to engines. They're loyal to shipping games. Your game's engine is meant to stay in the background, to quietly go unnoticed. It's just a tool like anything else in your garage, a means to an end. Nobody is buying your game because it was made in Unity. Players only care about the final product and what they're actually getting for their dollar. So if your game feels bad or janky, it's likely not the engine's fault. It's yours. The funny thing is, I don't actually think that most developers are so attached to their engine. They're really attached to the version of themselves that originally picked it. When you first downloaded the engine, you were probably so full of fire and motivation. It was your first serious step toward actually making games. It was a time when you still had blind faith. Faith that this was the tool that was finally going to bring your dream project to life. So when someone suggests switching, it doesn't just feel like a difference in software, it feels like admitting you were wrong, that you've been worshipping a false god who wouldn't even notice you. It's like I'm flat out telling you that all those tutorials, late nights, and all that time spent learning something could have been better spent somewhere else. But game development doesn't work like that. You don't lose experience just because you change tools. You don't magically forget how to drive just because you got a new car. The lessons come with you. Your understanding of level design comes with you, and your mistakes even come with you. So when it's all said and done, The only thing that truly gets left behind is a bunch of software. And that's exactly how it should be, because engines don't make games. You do. They're all disposable and at your disposal. Yes, even the one that your favorite AAA company has used for 20 years is still just a tool to them. A good carpenter doesn't build their entire identity around one special hammer, and a painter doesn't swear loyalty to a single brush for life. They use the tool that helps them create their vision, bring it to life in that moment, and they move on. Game engines should be no different. The goal was never to become a Unity developer, Godot, or Unreal developer. The goal was to become a game developer. Ultimately, the best engine for you probably isn't the most powerful or versatile option on paper. It's the one that keeps you creating instead of endlessly planning. You don't have to change engines today while you're in the middle of a project, and I'm also not saying that you need to file for divorce just because your textures hit a bug last week. If your current engine makes you feel smart, makes you get excited to open it every day, then stick with it. Maybe you've found exactly the tool that your particular game needs for now. But if any engine makes you sit in tutorial hell and dread working on your games, then maybe it's high time you stop treating it like a marriage and started treating it like a tool. Thank you.